Hi, welcome. I'm Laura Volpin-Testa. I'm the founder of Fashion Illustration Tribe, author of The Language of Fashion Design, the creator of many online fashion design courses based on my 25 years teaching at Parsons School of Design in New York City and globally online. Can't wait to show you. What we're going to do today is I'm going to walk you through the overall process of putting together a whole lineup of rendered, illustrated fashion sketches on figures. This talks about drawing the clothing details in shadow. Also talks about how I get dynamic, fluid figures right from the get-go. So without any further ado, let's go into the video. But don't forget to like if you like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you get updates for upcoming videos. And comment, let me know if you got a takeaway that really is going to help you with your creative process. Or if you have questions or anything at all, please stay in touch. It's nice to meet you. Thanks for joining me. And let's go to the video. Hi, welcome. I'm Laura Volpin-Testa, Fashion Illustration Tribe. Today I'm going to walk you through not so much the digital drawing process, even though I'm doing this on my iPad, but more we're going to talk about model drawing and some of the common misconceptions that may be holding you back. Also some of the processes that I constantly use. And even at the end, I'll also let you know about a course that I have that's open. So what you'll see here is I'm using a watercolor brush. It's slightly sheer, watered down, gray. And how quickly that I build a body. This time lapse is sped up a little bit, but not much. And what I'm doing is, in my classes, like most people get confused because they say, wait, why are we doing this? Where are the pretty lines, the crisp lines, the details in the dress and the face and the hair? And I always have to first let you know that if you really want to have these drawings that are expressive and fluid and flowing and exciting and gestural, like telling a lot of body language behind your clothes. If you're doing fashion drawing, you may just be doing illustration that's not for fashion. But what you want to do is you don't want to have so much control. Like these drawings come out better when I use a heavy brush than they do if I use a skinny pencil. I do this technique with skinny pencil too. And I often also do it with a thicker brush than you see today. And what you're going to see in this video today is I'm going to take it farther. After I create the bodies quickly here with a few lines, I'm going to go in and show you how I also create all the detail of the clothes, adding skin tone, adding facial features and all that. But this is where I start. And the reason I created this particular exercise is to practice having many figures on the page, which is also a skill in itself. So creating a single figure is one thing, but when you create a group, everyone is interacting with everyone else. And there's a real dynamic to that in the way that they both emotionally sort of interact with each other and also how they interact with each other visually as design elements. So this actual lineup that you see, I sketched from a photograph for a dancewear company called Calais. They have lots and lots of lineup photos. If you look at them on Pinterest or at their website, K-E-L-L-E, they do beautiful photographs with like always, 5 or 6 figures all in different poses. And it's a lot of fun to sketch from. Also because it's a dancewear company, has really expressive poses. So the action and dynamic in the poses is really interesting to look at. So my screen filmer conked out while I was adding the line quality to these. Well, what I want to explain to you is what happened that you didn't see was I switched tools. If you look at the left, you'll see my withTayasui sketch app tools. I switched to the brush pen. And I used it with full opacity, but I adjusted it to, a certain thickness that felt right for me on the page. Whether you have iPad Pro or not, you're still going to get line quality in your sketch when you use that tool. If you're not using a brush pen on paper, withTayasui Sketches brush pen automatically does thick and thin variations. But because I had Apple Pencil on iPad Pro, I was able to really decide where I wanted my thicker, blacker lines. Do you see how some of the lines are really thick and black and other lines are really thin and light? So after I had laid out all my sketches with that soft, sheer watercolor, I went back and put in all the boundaries of like her face, her hair, the edges of her clothes, all the borders and edges of everything so that I had the full outfit before I started adding color. So you see me adding color now also with a watercolor tool. I love the watercolor tool in this app because it's so easy to find exactly the colors you're looking for. And notice that that color is not opaque. It's slightly sheer. So it has a nice variety to it. It isn't too flat. To me, pure opaque color can become very, very flat. And that's another reason why I encourage you to practice with that wash of pencil. Left, you'll get to see me using that brush pen. Wait a minute, where did she go? All the way to the left, you'll get to watch me actually add in that line quality over my, what I call an undersketch. That undersketch gives me a roadmap. It gives me certainty of where I want my lines to come. The mistake we so often make is to only work with perfect lines before we've felt it out. And that means we're always working on pieces of our drawing without getting a feeling for the overall. Does that make sense? So I want you to think about how there's great value in just getting the essence of poses before you start getting super detailed. Now what we're going to do in about 30 seconds is we're going to start looking at color and how color, notice how this used to be all soft and gray and now it's black lines over the gray. And just notice how that affects your eye and the way you feel what you see. Now here's what happens when I add skin tone and then clothing tone. Now actually in the process of creating these sketches, I did add the clothing color first, but normally I always add skin tone first because look, as a designer, if I only add the skin tone first, I still get to make decisions about color. I get to think. It's like I have these models wearing blank garments, and then I get to decide which color and fabric choices I'm going to make. But this is what I did when I added the color. And you can also see how I shaded all the garments by adding gray tone over the colored tone. These are all really, really rote, like, what I always say is once you have a process and a format for how you're going to do your work, it makes it easier. This is the process I use. Undersketch, then a brush pen for nice clean lines, defining things, then adding color to the clothes and skin, then adding shadow to the clothes and skin. I hope you found this helpful in your own creative process. Don't forget to click the notification bell and subscribe. Comment below with suggestions for future videos. I'm Laura Volpentesta of Fashion Illustration Tribe, and I look forward to being connected with you.